All right. I've been feeling a bit frustrated today, and I wanted to share with you why and kind of get some introspection for myself as to what's going on, Maggie. Because if you know me, you know I love, love, love Panama. But I went to the mall today to Albrook looking for some things, and I came out a bit frustrated. So I want to tell you about it, right? Okay. So don't panic. I still absolutely adore Panama, but I just want to give you some insight as I try to discover why I'm feeling frustrated. What's going on, Maggie? I'm really good at doing that, at diagnosing myself, and I will do that at the end. But if you don't know who I am, this is this crazy middle-aged old woman named Maggie Lazar, yes, who's retired here in Panama. I'm living my best life, but this is our series of Educate. This is Monday. So I'm going to give you some insight as to what has frustrated me and trying to figure out why and sharing that with you in the hope that it won't frustrate you. So I'm Maggie. I've been here almost 3 years. It's gonna be 2 or 3 more months. It'll be 3 years, and I absolutely love it. And I'm also the creator of SWRA, Single Women Retiring Abroad. I think the group is really, really unique and special. I absolutely love my ladies. But life be lifing, okay? So I adore Panama. I made 3 or 4 trips before I decided to retire here, and I absolutely love it, as I said. But you've heard me talk about the honeymoon season, right? Okay, I'm past the honeymoon season. Well, let me tell you what happened because somebody again got in my comment today and said I was rambling. Welcome to my rambling. And if you don't like my rambling, please click away. Why do you have to make a comment about it? Just click away. Get away. Up, 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 up. But I love y'all. I'm saying it in love. Okay. Why did I feel frustrated today? I needed to go to the bank. I make this little pilgrimage every single month, transfer money so I can pay my bills and, everything's good. But I keep a list in my phone of, shopping or needed items, food and then regular shopping. And every time I'm close to a mall or an area where I know I'm going to find certain things, I can check it off my list. I'm a list person. I have to have a list. I have multiple lists, and I'm up to like 2 notebooks because I'm always taking notes. Not just because I don't forget things, I forget people's names, I forget actors' names, but I'm still good in the day-to-day today. Thank you, Lord. But on my list, I was looking for some wedge sandals. This is a tropical area. You always want to show up your toes if you can. If you go into a meeting, when I'm in the streets and the metro, I wear tennis shoes. The last tennis shoes that I got were from South Africa. They were the most comfortable shoes, tennis shoes. And I never thought I was going to be a tennis shoes person because, it's not, I don't know. I never thought of tennis shoes as being very feminine. But I even thought that, I'm going to start a collection, and have some casual ones and some little higher end ones. I wore those shoes until they fell off because they were that comfortable. And I have gone through 3 different pairs of tennis shoes here. And every time I go and I'm like, oh, they feel okay. And I walk out and I come home and the toes are, and they hurt. And I'm at an age, I don't want to feel pain when I'm walking. No, I don't have any bunions and I do not want them. And I don't want corn. So I'm like, okay, what gives? What am I missing? So finally, I'm like, okay, I think it's because the front of the shoes tend to be square and round, well, a little bit round. But what I need is for the front to be a bit pointed so my toes have room to expand. So tennis shoes frustration. But the wedge sandals, I have been looking This is something that the ladies here wear a lot. They wear a lot of the flat sandals casually, but when they're dressed, not so casual, let's say you're wearing a long, flowy sundress, those wedge shoes they go really well. Haven't been able to find any. And you know why? Because of the size of my feet. I wear a 10 now. Well, your sis used to wear 8.5, 9. But you know how it is. You go to menopause and you expand. Not just your waistline, your feet expand too. Now, I know I'm telling the truth and I know you know what I mean. So I'm up to a 10. Listen, we are in Panama where the average person is maybe 5'2", 5'4". So little people, little feet, small shoe sizes. So sis, if you wear anything 9 and up, you got to bring your shoes. You're not going to find shoes here. I was at Conway a few months back and I saw a short little area where they had some 10, 11 sandals, like slip on or those flip flops or whatever. I was like, wow, because I'd never seen that before. Well, I don't see them anymore. It was short lived. It was like and it's gone. So shoe size is a frustration, but I mean, it's a realization that I came to after I got here, but I'm trying to give you a heads up. You're not going to find your shoe size here, sis. So no wedge sandals for me. I found these two that I like, and I said, you know, I said 40, 41, and 40, 41. I was like, I knew 40 wasn't gonna fit, but maybe 41. Mm-mm. And he's like, oh no, solamente pequeños, pequeños, chiquitos, small sizes. So take notes, sis. Okay, frustration. Tennis shoes, hurt. I haven't been able to find. I think I found one. Where did I find it? But when I look at it, the front was a bit pointed, right? And I can't wear that all the time. I'm not a tennis shoes kind of person per se. And they have a lot of the flat shoes that the ladies wear here. I need a little bit of a heel. I need about maybe at least half an inch. And the very flat, first of all, I don't feel like they are safe for me to be out on those sidewalks where they have broken glass and stuff. I don't feel comfortable wearing flat. I need something to protect my soul in case I step on something sharp. And I'm not diabetic, it doesn't matter. So the shoe issue is an issue. Someone asked me before about plus sizes, and I've seen sections of plus sizes, but I can tell you that you're not going to find 3XXXXX because as much as I talk about the food here that, we eat so much rice here, not we, they, that, diabetes is on the rise, but we don't have morbidly obese people here. So if you are a 3XXXX, that's another thing you're going to have to provide for yourself. You're not going to find that here. Oh my God. So in the clothing and personal care section, what else frustrates me? When I first got here, and again, remember, the honeymoon season is, I say 6 months to a year. I can find it, no problem, no problem. But after you've been here and it's the same, it starts to get under your skin a little bit. And I think that's what I'm feeling right now. It took me months to find a foundation that would match my skin tone. And I had to wear two different ones. I had to find one that was a little bit light, and then I spot treat with a darker one and I blend. That's how I'm able to do this. And I just use a little foundation and powder, and that's it. So it's not like going to the mall and go to Clinique and find your shade. That didn't work for me. I don't know about you, but I had a time. Shampoo. I had a time finding the right shampoo. Bath gel is not easy. Sometimes I'll find a Dove, Dove, and sometimes I'll go, I can't find it. So I decided now, I think I'm just gonna bite the bullet and go to what's that place? Bath and Body Works and pay $20 for some body wash. And hopefully it's the same, you know? And I think this is what the frustration is, that a lot of the quality is not what you used to. And yes, I am very adaptable. Um, but again, I don't know why it's bothering me now, because I've always said, if it's not here, I don't need it. So be prepared for that. That close to 3 years, you might start getting bothered. I don't know what's going on. What else has been a problem for me? You know, I've been telling you that casual clothing is very cheap, $4, $3, this like $2. I mean, easy. But I know we have a couple of stores that if I needed something a little nicer, I would venture in there. Whether I would find something that I like, I don't know. So again, if you see something you like while you are visiting over there, bring it with you. Okay? What else has been frustrating? You know, the makeup, we talked about that. Well, let's talk about food. Well, I've told you before about towels and, bath sheets and stuff. Bring those with you. It's not the same, sis, not the same. I think somebody told me they finally went to Stevens, which is another store here, and they were able to find something somewhat comparable. And I remember when I was in Africa and I went to that Airbnb and I look at that bed and I was like, oh my God, that thing was hard as a rock. It's not as bad here. That's why a lot of us use pillow tops, but the mattresses are not the same. So be ready to buy a pillow top so your back doesn't hurt. Okay? Mm-hmm. I bought a table before, a dining room table, and we were having a party and we were playing cards. Next thing I know, the whole tabletop just went down. We were lucky enough we caught it. So we saved, because it was a glass top. We saved the top and I had to order another one. Quality. Mhm. And I have to say that this video is not for those of you who are high-end shoppers. This is for the average Joe like myself who shop at the average stores. But if you were a luxury shopper, this is not for you. Okay? In terms of food, what do we do about food? What frustrates me? I told you though that the quality of the food is great. Okay. But having to go to 3, 4, 5 different places to find what you need, starting to get a little bit frustrating. I'm always forever chasing okra, certain things that you like. I'll go to the store, something simple as cilantro. I could go weeks and I can find it. I love thyme. I can't find thyme every time I go. Sometimes they have it, sometimes they don't. I don't understand that. And it's frustrating me. And it's not one of those things to say you stock up on it. Now, what we tell people is if you find something that you like, stock up on it because you don't know when you're going to see it again. I can't do that about herbs. I can't. So it's always a guessing game. I have 4 different spots I can go to find okra. If I'm craving okra, I can go to Foodie. It's not that expensive there, thank God, because Foodie is like Whole Food and Trader Joe's. I've never shopped Trader Joe's, so I don't know about their prices. But I can go to Merca Panama, and it's just such a all day thing. It's long. And I was like, oh, absolutely love Merca. But a day at Merca Panama is like a whole day. And then I'm thinking the heat, or if it rains, then they have to drag the stuff. No. And certain things, you're not going to find at the regular store. My store is a middle of the road store we call Supermercado Rey. It reminds me of Publix. I'm from Florida, so Publix is big in Florida. And they're like very high quality. Not, well, they started getting really expensive, so I stopped shopping there. But I like to go to Ray where I can just go aisle by aisle and I know where everything is. But sometimes I can find cilantro. Sometimes I ask for culantro, they don't have it. And I'm here in Panama. This is what they put in their national dish. And many times they don't have it. I don't worry about fruits and stuff because I usually go with pears and apples, or if I have buy bananas, they always have those. But if you are a berries kind of person, they usually will have strawberries, blueberries, maybe. But blackberries, I don't really hunt for it because it's super, super expensive. But around the holidays, if I am making dishes, like pistachio, they usually have pistachio, I can say that. So I'm not a shopper for Super 99, which is one of the larger stores, because I think the quality is like, But if I'm at the mall, I'll stop in and get maybe some, if I need some onions or some garlic. And usually I'm looking for nuts. If they got my nut mix, that's all of it. But it gets a bit frustrating when you have to go different places to find something. So if I'm looking for herbs, if I go there, I have to get what's available and not what I need for my dish or what I'm used to. Anyway, it is what it is, right? Shallots, I'm a cook. There are certain recipes that call for shallots. I haven't seen shallots here. Mm-mm. It took me a month to find lemons. Now they have lemons now. And it took me months to find kale. Well, I found kale at Ray. What else was I looking for? Somebody was looking for spinach. And that's what we do, in those WhatsApp group. Do you know where I can find this and that? And somebody would say, and they have some specialty stores too. In another WhatsApp group, they talk about Organica and some other Jewish and other specialty stores where you can go find certain items, not your regular shopping. So you got to make note mentally or physically as to where something is so that you can pick it up. I hope I'm recording. Yes, it said I'm recording because I was like, ooh, it looks like I'm not. Why is it saying 51 minutes? I have not been speaking for 51 minutes. Okay. All right. So food can be a challenge. The shoe size is a challenge. The quality of some products is a challenge. I've bought a blender here and don't like it. I had a hard time finding knives as a chef that were comparable to what I had. I ended up buying a bunch of them, and every single one of them was like, So I was happy when I went home in February and brought my knives. And I was like, oh, I'm a happy camper again. So, something simple as a garlic presser. I had to ask somebody to bring it to me. I'm looking for a set of tongs, and the ones that I got, I'm not happy with. Okay, Maggie, you need to chill. I don't know what's going on with you, but you need to chill. My God, oh my God, oh my God, what's happening to me? What is happening? Okay, I'm going to self-diagnose in a second. What else? We talk about the makeup. Riesling, my wine that I love. I had a hard time finding it, but I did not make it to Felipe, is it Mota? It's a wine place. So I need to go in there one time, one of their stores, to see if they stock the Riesling. Because I went to Reba Smith and I called somebody. I'm like, do you have Riesling? And he went in there and looked. It's like, nope, they didn't have it. I found a bottle finally buried in there at Ray. But they give you like a bottle and then a long neck. So you're getting less. So I started to enjoy it. But I realized when I'm making marinara, I ended up having to use my Riesling. So now I'm like, ding, ding, ding. I have to get some Chardonnay so I can save my Riesling because it was hard to find. And I'm in those streets every day. I like to explore, to discover, but I really don't like to go to 5 different stores looking for one thing and not being able to find it. But anyway, oh, it is what it is. Oh my gosh. Okay, what else? This earlier this week, the internet was out almost 2 days. Now, I don't think it has to do with my getting frustrated. It was just something that happened to the company, but I've heard other people complain about Tigo as well. So I am considering switching because I don't work online, but I do a lot of things online, right? So my job doesn't depend on it. But when it doesn't work for a couple of days, you do get a certain level of frustration. So I mean, we understand. We used to have apagados, or they would go for like 30 minutes to an hour. But like when it starts like at 7 p.m. and I go to bed at 11 o'clock, it's still not back. And it comes on at 5 a.m. in the morning. Mm, are you feeling me? Okay. Dear Lord. Okay, so what does Panama has going for it that keeps me from getting even more frustrated? The weather, the people, the friendly police. Where I'm sitting here, my view, uh, the food, not the Panamanian recipes. I saw somebody did a video today saying about the healthy Panamanian food, and I'm like, oh, I don't know which food you're eating. Panamanian food is not that healthy, just like Haitian food is not that healthy. Yes, it may be good, but as you start getting older, you got to pull back a little bit, sis, because that rice, that amount of rice, and all that carb that we're taking in. And they're saying that diabetes had gone up 46% in so many years. And I'm like, well, is it any wonder? From morning till night, it's carb, carb, carb. So I'm not sure. But you can eat healthy here because you do have the choices. You do have all the beautiful vegetables. And when I ask myself, and I'm like, I see the vegetables, I don't see them so much on the plate. So somebody's eating them, me being one of them, right? Okay. So the people, the weather, the freshness of the food, freshness. So it's not so full of chemicals. That's a plus. Joie de vivre in Panama. Everybody's happy, even though they're challenged, but they embrace life and they don't focus on the negative so much. And I was referring to the happiness scale, the world happiness scale that Finland has been top, for many years, and a lot of the northern Nordic type of countries on that list. And I think the recent list had Costa Rica and Mexico. And I said, we need to have Panama on that list. So I hope somebody who's listening is going to ask us, because this is why Panama has been on the top of the list for retirees, is because International Living took the time to interview us retirees. So we're putting Panama on the map. And that's why so many people are coming now. Shh, the word has gotten out. But joie de vivre, meaning this is a French term that says enjoy life. They love life. That is a thing here. People work to live. They don't live to work. They're not enamored with work, 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 work. And I love that about Panama. I did another video about some things that you may not enjoy about Panama, but that's not what this is about. This is about the day-to-day adjustments, and that once you are over the honeymoon period where it's like, ooh and ah, and then saying, okay, this is what it is. This is what I have to do when I need to shop for food. I need to go to 3 different places. I need to keep, and this is the to-do list. Okay, this is the thing we're gonna have to do, okay, to kind of reduce your frustration, is have a list. maybe in your phone, like I have, to say US to bring. And I did that when people would be coming. And that's why my subscribers, thank you, you guys. They say, well, I hear you talk about you didn't have plates, so I brought you plates. This lady brought me a couple of plates. I'm like, oh, thank you. Miss Deborah, I asked her to bring me a Dutch oven, and that heavy thing she put in her suitcase and brought it for me. Thank you. People are bringing me garlic pressers. Now I'm making a plug for some nice tongues. And anything else, forget the makeup. I think I got the makeup situated, so I'm good there. But the tennis shoes, somebody can't bring you shoes. You have to try them on. So I was gonna say a word, I'm not gonna say. So next time I go look for another pair of tennis shoes and leaving the two that I have there that I can't wear because I refuse to wear tight shoes where I'm in pain. I absolutely refuse to do that. That I have to think about the front being a bit more pointed instead of straight. So we'll try that, okay? You live and learn. All right. So some introspection. Why do I feel like I'm getting a bit frustrated? Because Maggie is a happy person. I'm a happy-go-lucky person. I have a fatalistic attitude about life. Oh, well, and I've told you before, if it's something you can't change or embrace it, or you leave it and you keep it moving, right? You do the Kim. So why have I been feeling a bit, I wouldn't say irritable. I'm not irritable. There's nobody around me to be irritable to. That's a good thing. Maybe I'm working a bit too hard. I have a lot of things that I'm juggling, different balls and different deadlines I'm putting on myself. I'm doing a lot with SWRA, organizing and getting programs together. So maybe that's the thing. I have taken on too much. So I need to kind of look at that again and say, Maggie, you need to kind of pull back. And I have not traveled in a little while. I need a short stunt somewhere. And I think also and I don't have anything going around me in my life personally to cause me, I'm still fighting the bulge, but that's something that we all deal with. It's because I eat the wrong thing. I've been eating a lot of nuts. I love nuts, but Maggie, not as much as you have been eating. I know that. So that's not it. But I'm thinking it's the general temperature of what's going on around in the world. My worry about well, not the future, but what is happening, my family, and the worry about where everything is heading. I think that's had got a lot to do with it. But again, it's not anything I can do anything about, right? So I need to work a lot harder at keeping things in perspective. I know a sister the other day, she's like, well, my son said, don't watch the news because it's lies. Nothing's happening. We know how the media can blow things out of proportion. We know that. We know that. But we have sisters who have gone back and come back telling you it's not good. It's not good. So I am one that I don't like to bury my head in the sand. I think the challenge is to keep everything in perspective and balance it with some more positive. So I just wanted to tell you, this is educate. So I want you to be prepared when you come here. I want you to know that when you first get here, you're going to be ooh and excited and getting your apartment together and making friends. Like to follow the video I did last week about finding your tribe, and I told you to pace yourself. All that takes time. And you're like, for about 6 months to a year, you're going to be on a high. But after a while, things may start to get under your skin. And I told you before in one video that this gentleman said he was leaving, I think was it Ecuador, where he had moved his whole family and everything, and he thought that was going to be his forever home. And then after 17 years, he decided to go back. And one other thing, I don't remember what else he said, because they had bought a house, they were like on a farm. I mean, living the ideal life, right? But one other thing that he said, and I thought it was very interesting, he said, I think I got frustrated and tired of not being able to understand what people are saying around me. And I'm like, you haven't been taking your Spanish lesson seriously? And that's why I tell my sisters, my students who are taking classes with me. And I'm like, yeah, you can go to Europe and Africa and do all that. But if you cut, you don't do anything while you're gone and then you come back, you got to deal with your jet lag and all that, you're going to start square one. You're going to be like on your Ferris wheel going nowhere. And that gets old. Not being able to find your shoe size gets old. But make a list. When you go back, stock up. And I know people who have children, adult children, and then that sister also said her daughter sends her stuff. That's good. Do that. I think that's going to reduce your frustration, especially if you kind of build a certain way. You're not like Coca-Cola. I don't know anybody who is at my age. So, and for me, even when I was in the States, I have to try on clothes. I got to, if I see something, I don't never buy clothes from a catalog because what I see and when it gets to me, never the same thing. So I got to touch, I got to try. And shoes, but be ready for the hunting of the food. Yes, you got to go different places to find different things. And then the more you expect it, when it happens, you're not going to be surprised. So I want you to kind of get your mindset that, oh, Maggie said that I might be frustrated about not being able to find certain things. And certain things that I know I tell you about your bedding and your kitchenware, bring it with you, but you might discover other things. So let me know in the comment if there is anything that you are living here that frustrates you, that is different. We are to expect the different, right? But is the different significant enough where it kind of gets under your skin a little bit? That's right. It's a conversation. It got nothing to do with our decision to stay or to go. We're not there. We're just talking. We're just chatting as sisters do. But anyway, all right, I need to get going because I have some ladies waiting on us because we have a presentation tonight. We're so excited. I forgot again to tell you to like, share, and subscribe. Listen, these videos, they have the mind of their own. And I think Mr. Algorithm plays all these games. He gives you views when he wants and he does, I don't know. And I'm not stressing over it, says. This is educative. This is just me just sharing with you what some of the things that you need to know, and of course, sharing my life with you. All right. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe for more videos. And I will see you in the next video. Au revoir. À la prochaine. Bye.